What really happened on that fateful night in Paris with Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed? Was it merely a tragic accident, or a sinister plot orchestrated by powerful figures? Why did the medical team who fought to save her become subjects of wild conspiracy theories? Join us as we unravel the mysteries surrounding the tragic death of one of the world's most beloved princesses. In the meantime, please subscribe to my channel TV Stars, give it a like and leave a comment of at least 7 words, and if you feel like it, share this video with others. It will really help my channel. Thank you, and let's keep going. On the 30th of August 1997, the world was plunged into sorrow following the untimely and tragic death of Princess Diana. The British icon was involved in a horrific car crash in Paris, an event that claimed the lives of her companion Dodi Fayed and the driver, Henri Paul. The suddenness of her passing sent shockwaves around the globe, and as news of her death spread from Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital, public attention quickly shifted to those who were by her side in her final moments. The medical team, led by renowned surgeon Dr. Monsef Dahman, found themselves in the spotlight, facing unfounded accusations and conspiracy theories about their efforts to save her life. Today, Dr. Dahman breaks his silence, revealing the harrowing details of that fateful night and the emotional toll it took on him. As we delve into Dr. Dahman's revelations, let's first revisit the events that led to that catastrophic night. It began like any other summer day, with Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed enjoying a lavish 9-day getaway aboard Mohammed Al Fayed's yacht, sailing along the sun-kissed shores of the French and Italian Riviera. Little did anyone know that this tranquil vacation would swiftly spiral into a nightmarish ordeal. On the evening of August 30th, the couple disembarked from a private jet at Le Bourget Airport in Paris, making a brief stop in the City of Lights before their planned return to London. Their destination for the night was the luxurious Ritz Hotel, owned by Mohammed Al Fayed, which was conveniently situated close to Al Fayed's apartment on Rue Arsène Housset. However, this carefully laid plan was set to end in tragedy. In a desperate bid to outsmart the relentless paparazzi, a decoy vehicle was sent from the main entrance of the Ritz on Place Vendôme. This strategy was designed to distract the throngs of photographers, allowing Diana and Dodi to exit more discreetly through the hotel's back entrance on Rue Cambon. At precisely 12:20, they climbed into a black Mercedes-Benz S280 from 1999, an automobile that was meant to ensure their safety but was ultimately doomed. With Henri Paul, the deputy director of security at the Ritz, behind the wheel and bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones seated beside him, they set off into the Parisian night. Intriguingly, none of the passengers were wearing seatbelts, a seemingly insignificant detail that would have dire consequences. The chosen route was meticulously planned to avoid heavy traffic, guiding them past the famous Place de la Concorde and along the picturesque banks of the Seine. Yet peace shattered abruptly as they approached the entrance of the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. At precisely 12:23, disaster struck. Henri lost control of the vehicle while attempting to evade a mysterious white Fiat, swerving violently and colliding head-on with the 13th pillar of the tunnel at a speed of 65 miles per hour, more than double the legal limit. The impact was devastating. The Mercedes spun wildly, smashing into the stone walls of the tunnel and coming to a catastrophic halt. The damage was extensive, particularly to the front of the car, compounded by the absence of safety barriers. Miraculously, Diana initially survived the horrific crash inside the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, but she was thrust into a frantic race against time to save her life. The moments that followed were fraught with chaos and urgency, reflecting both the grave nature of the situation and the grim reality facing those at the scene. Dr. Frederick Malley, a passing physician, was the first to attend to Diana. Despite the lack of visible injuries, she was in shock, barely conscious, mumbling incoherently, "Oh God," and later pleading, "Leave me alone," as the commotion intensified around her. The scene resembled something out of a film, with the flashing lights of camera-wielding paparazzi mingling with the strobe lights of emergency vehicles against the backdrop of a haunting Parisian night. The photographers, often criticized for their relentless pursuit of the perfect shot, reacted in mixed ways. Some, displaying rare compassion, rushed to help, attempting to pry open the crumpled doors of the vehicle. Others, consumed by the moment, continued to snap pictures, actions that would later provoke outrage and physical confrontations from horrified onlookers. Amidst the chaos, police and firefighters arrived swiftly. By 12:30, approximately 10 minutes after the crash, law enforcement was already coordinating efforts at the scene, and shortly thereafter, an ambulance arrived. Inside the vehicle, tension filled the air. While Diana, under the influence of sedatives after her initial panic, attempted to remove an intravenous line, she suffered a cardiac arrest. When we were moving her, she experienced a brief cardiac arrest, so we needed time to stabilize her condition, the medical team later explained. Despite their struggles, the doctors managed to restart her heart through external cardiopulmonary resuscitation. At 12:18, they successfully extracted Diana from the wreckage, and by 12:41, the ambulance was en route to Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital, arriving at 2:06. Upon arrival, a monumental task lay ahead for the medical staff, stabilizing Diana, who had sustained severe internal injuries. The impact had displaced her heart, and her chest and arm bore grave wounds, challenges that could daunt even the most seasoned specialists. Despite relentless efforts, including internal cardiac massage, her condition continued to deteriorate. The battle to save her was marked by fleeting moments of hope interspersed with devastating setbacks, culminating in her tragic passing at 4 o'clock. The announcement of her death, made during a press conference at 6 o'clock, marked a solemn and heart-wrenching moment, signaling the end for a globally recognized figure. The news of Diana's passing triggered a wave of national and international mourning. The Prime Minister and Minister of the Interior of France paid their respects by visiting the hospital in solidarity. Later that same day, her ex-husband, Prince Charles, arrived in Paris along with his sisters. Their visit, accompanied by President Jacques Chirac, was steeped in grief and gratitude toward the medical team that bravely fought to save Diana. The return of her body to the United Kingdom became a ceremonial act infused with dignity and profound sadness. Draped in the royal standard, her coffin was transported from RAF Northolt to the mortuary in Hammersmith and Fulham. The accident not only claimed a vibrant life, but also unleashed a torrent of questions and investigations. The tragic death of Diana became the catalyst for a flurry of conspiracy theories, intertwining various individuals and events into a complex tapestry of suspicion and intrigue. At the forefront of these theories was Mohammed Al-Fayed, the father of Dodi Fayed, who perished alongside Diana. His persistent claims that the couple was murdered by forces within the British establishment added layers of mystery to an already chilling narrative. As we reflect on these events, the questions linger. Who truly orchestrated this tragedy, and what secrets lie beneath the surface? What if I told you that the tragic death of Princess Diana was not just a result of a car accident, but part of a larger conspiracy involving powerful figures and shadowy agendas? How did a simple union between Diana and her Egyptian Muslim partner spark fears about the integrity of the monarchy? And was there a sinister plot to ensure she never made it out of the hospital alive? These questions linger as we delve into the unsettling events surrounding that fateful night. In the aftermath of Princess Diana's untimely demise, a storm of conspiracy theories erupted, with some suggesting that her marriage to Dodi Al-Fayed, a Muslim of Egyptian descent, posed a threat to the so-called purity of the royal family. These accusations, voiced vehemently by Dodi's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, have fueled a fiery debate, keeping the story alive in public discourse. Theories have not only targeted the supposed conspirators, but also cast shadows on the medical team that treated Diana that night, leading to a distressing narrative that she may have been deliberately denied the chance to survive. Some conspiracy theorists claim that Diana's life was snuffed out not in the crash, but rather in the hospital shortly after her arrival. They point to alleged delays in transporting her to medical care and the treatment she received as evidence of a calculated British conspiracy to ensure she did not survive. At the center of this unsettling theory is Dr. Monsef Dahman, the physician who led the medical team at Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital. Conspiracy theorists assert that the delay in her transfer was a deliberate maneuver, which made her condition worse, allowing the medical staff, acting on orders from British intelligence, to seal her fate. They also allege that improper treatment was administered to hasten her death. Dr. Monsef has vehemently denied these accusations, emphasizing the ethical commitment his team had toward their patient. He describes the immense pressure they felt trying to save the life of such a well-known figure and the emotional toll her death took on him personally. For Dr. Monsef and his team, that night was a relentless fight for survival, not a calculated move to end a life. He insists that these conspiracy theories not only distort the truth but also demean the genuine efforts of the medical personnel involved. In response to the burgeoning conspiracy theories, Operation Paget was initiated, a comprehensive investigation conducted by the London Metropolitan Police under the guidance of Lord John Stevens. Launched in 2004, this inquiry aimed to dissect and debunk the various conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's tragic death. Operation Paget was meticulously planned with two primary objectives in mind: to uncover the details of the accident and assess the medical care that Diana received. The investigative team diligently scrutinized every aspect of the accident scene and the subsequent medical procedures. They enlisted forensic experts, including leading pathologists and accident investigation specialists from the Transport Research Laboratory, who provided crucial insights into the physical evidence and the sequence of events that led to the fatal outcome. One of the most persistent conspiracy claims was that Diana's death was orchestrated by MI6 under direct orders from the royal family. This narrative gained traction, in part due to Mohammed al-Fayed's ongoing public accusations and legal actions, which kept the theories alive in the public eye. The findings of the extensive 832-page report from Operation Paget ultimately concluded that the crash was a tragic accident, with no evidence supporting the conspiracy theories. The primary causes of the accident were identified as intoxication and speeding by driver Henri Paul, exacerbated by the relentless pursuit of paparazzi. In 2008, a coroner's inquest concurred with Operation Paget's conclusions, ruling the deaths of Diana and Dodi as unlawful killing due to the negligence of the driver and the reckless behavior of paparazzi. It was also noted that Diana was not wearing a seatbelt, which further exacerbated her injuries. Earlier, we touched upon Dr. Monsef Dahman when discussing the conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death. Now, this surgeon, who fought to save Princess Diana's life, has broken his silence, shocking everyone with his first-hand account of the events that transpired that tragic night in 1997. Dr. Monsef, one of the on-call doctors at Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital, recently recounted to Daily Mail how the night began, like any other in the emergency department, until it dramatically changed with Diana's arrival, seriously injured from the car crash. Upon her admission around 2 o'clock in the morning, it became immediately clear to Dr. Monsef and his team that they were facing a grave medical emergency. Diana had already suffered cardiac arrest, and paramedics had tirelessly worked at the scene to stabilize her condition and ensure she arrived at the hospital alive. Once she reached the hospital, urgent measures were taken to assess her injuries through a series of X-rays. The results were catastrophic. Diana was found to have severe internal bleeding, particularly a significant tear in her left pulmonary vein, a serious injury with a high mortality rate. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Dr. Monsef initiated a thoracotomy, opening the chest cavity to access the damaged organs and provide treatment. During this delicate procedure, the medical team encountered an unexpected complication, a rupture of the pericardium, the protective sac surrounding the heart. This critical discovery indicated that the trauma was even more severe than initially assumed. The rupture caused blood to flood the chest cavity, putting immense pressure on the heart and preventing it from functioning normally. As the situation grew increasingly dire, Dr. Monsef recognized that specialized expertise was required. At this critical juncture, around 2:30 in the morning, Professor Alain Pavy, a renowned French cardiothoracic surgeon, was summoned. His arrival brought a glimmer of hope. He assessed Diana's condition and transferred her to the operating room for more intensive intervention. Despite the extraordinary efforts of Dr. Monsef and his team, alongside Professor Pavy's expertise, the severity of Diana's injuries proved insurmountable. The medical team employed every possible method to revive Diana, including manual heart massage in a desperate attempt to physically restart her heart and restore circulation. They even attempted defibrillation, using electrical shocks to try to restore a normal heartbeat. However, each attempt was in vain. For an exhausting hour, the atmosphere in the operating room was filled with tension and determination. Quick orders were shouted, monitors beeped continuously, and the serious expressions on the faces of the doctors reflected the magnitude of the challenge they were facing. Dr. Monsef administered several doses of medication aimed at stimulating Diana's heart and stabilizing her vital signs. But as the minutes ticked by, the chances of saving her continued to dwindle. At 4 o'clock in the morning, a difficult decision was made. After prolonged attempts and with no response, the medical team reluctantly ceased resuscitation efforts. Dr. Monsef, weary and devastated, exchanged glances with his colleagues, their eyes conveying profound sorrow. Princess Diana was pronounced dead. This moment marked not only a medical failure, but also an emotional blow for every team member who had poured their skill and hope into saving a life that had touched millions around the globe. After the announcement, the team remained silent, grappling with the events of that night and the overwhelming public interest that added an additional layer of pressure to their already daunting task. Dr. Monsef reflects on the emotional impact of this experience, acknowledging that they were fighting not just for the life of one patient, but for a woman cherished and adored by millions. In contemplating that fateful night, Dr. Monsef expressed a deep sense of responsibility and acute awareness of the global ramifications of their efforts. Despite the outcome, he firmly stated that they had done everything possible to save the princess. What if the untimely death of Princess Diana was more than just a tragic accident? Could Prince Charles have been involved in a conspiracy that shook the very foundations of the British monarchy? And what role did the relentless paparazzi play in that fateful night? These questions linger in the minds of many, as whispers of potential arrests and hidden motives continue to swirl around this iconic figure's legacy. The night of Princess Diana's tragic passing added yet another layer of complexity to an already intricate narrative, particularly with the recent rumors surrounding Prince Charles. Unverified allegations of his possible arrest could trigger an unprecedented constitutional crisis in the United Kingdom and send shockwaves through global communities. For years, speculation has circulated, suggesting that Prince Charles may have been entangled in a conspiracy related to Diana's death. The alleged motive? His desire to marry Camilla Parker Bowles. According to these claims, Diana was seen as an obstacle to their relationship, and her removal could pave the way for their union. While these theories may seem extreme, they have continued to permeate public consciousness, fueled by a blend of comments, coincidences, and the absence of clear answers. Despite numerous investigations debunking insinuations of Prince Charles's involvement, the mere existence of these theories continues to cast a shadow over how the public perceives the events of that fateful night. The poignant testimony of Dr. Monsef Dahman, one of the surgeons who treated Diana, emphasizes not only the desperate attempts to save her, but also the emotional weight of the circumstances. Dr. Dahman highlighted that his team exhausted every possible effort to save Diana. He explained that her injuries, particularly the catastrophic tear of the pulmonary vein, were devastating and almost impossible to treat. The collective efforts of the medical staff were a struggle against insurmountable odds. Conspiracy theories gained traction due to a variety of factors, including statements from Mohammed al-Fayed and claims that British intelligence services monitored Diana in the days leading up to the tragic accident. These narratives hinted at the possibility that powerful forces might have been involved in her death, with motives ranging from personal vendettas to a desire to protect the monarchy's reputation. At the center of these conspiracy theories lies a letter Diana penned to her butler in 1995, expressing fears for her life. In it, she suggested that her husband was planning an accident with her car, involving brake failure and a severe head injury, to clear the path for his marriage to Camilla. This letter has become a cornerstone for conspiracy theorists, even as its authenticity and interpretation remain hotly debated. If the rumors about Prince Charles's potential arrest were to be substantiated, the implications for the British monarchy would be monumental. Already facing challenges, this situation would be unlike any other in recent history. Public trust, already fragile due to previous controversies, could be severely undermined, impacting the monarchy's role both in the United Kingdom and globally. In this context, Dr. Dahman's statements serve as a crucial reminder of the medical realities of that night, providing a professional perspective that counters sensational speculation. The primary objectives of Operation Paget were twofold: to determine whether the crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel was an accident or a deliberate act, and to investigate claims of a conspiracy, including the assertion that MI6 and the royal family were involved in a plot to assassinate Princess Diana. The investigative team interviewed over 300 witnesses, ranging from French and British officials to bystanders and technical experts. A thorough analysis of forensic evidence was also undertaken, including examinations of the crash site and debris from the wrecked vehicle. The condition of the driver, Henri Paul, was a significant focus of the investigation. Reports indicated that Henri Paul, the driver of the Mercedes, was under the influence of alcohol and medication, which significantly impaired his ability to operate the vehicle. This impairment was cited as a major contributing factor to the tragic accident. Additionally, while it was confirmed that several paparazzi were pursuing the car at the time of the accident, compelling evidence linking their presence to the collision was lacking. Yet their involvement was described as a distraction. Another key element of the conspiracy theories revolved around a mysterious white Fiat Uno seen at the scene of the crash. Despite extensive investigations, the driver of this vehicle was never identified, leaving a tantalizing detail unresolved. Lord John Stevens publicly stated that there was no evidence of an organized conspiracy involving the royal family or any governmental agency. He characterized the incident as a tragic accident stemming from a combination of unfortunate factors. The conclusion of Operation Paget, encapsulated in an 832-page report, determined that Diana's death was an involuntary manslaughter due to the negligent driving of Henri Paul, compounded by the circumstances at the time. Dr. Monsef Dahman, one of the surgeons who treated Princess Diana on that fateful night, shared harrowing details of the medical efforts made to save her life. In an interview, he recounted how the night began normally until an emergency involving Diana completely transformed the course of events. Around 2 in the morning, Princess Diana arrived at the Pitié-Salpêtrière hospital in critical condition. At the crash site, she had suffered cardiac arrest, and while the medical team temporarily stabilized her, her condition remained dire. Initial X-rays revealed severe internal bleeding, particularly a significant rupture of the left pulmonary vein, an injury that, according to Dr. Dahman, is critically severe and often results in fatality even under the most favorable medical conditions. The medical team immediately initiated a thoracotomy, a procedure involving opening the chest cavity to access the heart and lungs. During this process, they discovered another critical issue, a rupture of the pericardium, the membrane surrounding and protecting the heart. This additional injury complicated the treatment further. As the situation deteriorated, the hospital summoned renowned French cardiothoracic surgeon, Professor Alain Pavy, to lead the operation. The severity of Diana's injuries demanded expert care and a highly specialized surgical approach. Professor Pavy and his team worked tirelessly to repair the damaged pulmonary vein, a procedure that required great delicacy. Simultaneously, they attempted to revive her heart through manual massage and defibrillation. However, the extensive blood loss and serious internal injuries proved insurmountable. Dr. Dahman recalls the tense atmosphere and unwavering focus of the team during more than an hour of continuous efforts. "We did everything we could," he stated, describing the scene as a heartbreaking struggle for the life of a woman who meant so much to millions worldwide. At 4 in the morning, after prolonged and unsuccessful resuscitation attempts, the medical team faced the harrowing decision to declare Princess Diana dead. According to Dr. Dahman, this moment was devastating for everyone present in the room. "We lost not just a patient, but a person who was loved by millions," he remarked. Dr. Dahman noted that this experience had a profound emotional impact on him and his colleagues. While they were accustomed to dealing with emergencies, this particular situation felt different due to the patient's profile and the level of public scrutiny that followed. The awareness that the entire world was watching added an emotional weight that was difficult to bear, he admitted. Although Operation Paget and the French investigation concluded their findings, the questions and the theories surrounding Princess Diana's legacy continue to captivate and perplex the world. What really happened on that fateful night? Was it truly just a tragic accident, or is there more to the story of Princess Diana's untimely death? As we continue to explore the events surrounding her passing, questions linger about the circumstances and the people who were involved. Why do conspiracy theories persist, even after official conclusions? Recent revelations from Dr. Montezuma shed new light on those critical moments, blending both a human and a professional perspective on an event that shocked the world. His findings not only reaffirm the medical efforts made to save Diana, but also starkly illustrate the devastating reality of her injuries. The tragic events of that night in Paris remain etched in the collective memory. On August 31st, 1997, the world lost a beloved figure, a champion of humanitarian causes, and a symbol of grace under pressure. Despite the official narrative concluding that her death was an unfortunate accident, many remain skeptical. They dig deeper, seeking answers in the shadows where dark theories thrive. Dr. Montezuma's recent insights provide a unique angle, reminding us that the narrative of Princess Diana's last moments is not only about the mystery of her death, but also about the tireless efforts of the medical professionals who rushed to her aid. The trauma she suffered was immense, and the attempts to save her life were both commendable and heartbreaking. As we sift through the details, it becomes clear that there is much more at play than a simple accident. The medical community is often caught between the desire for transparency and the weight of public speculation. As they work diligently to save lives, they also face the scrutiny of those who refuse to accept the official story. Dr. Montezuma's perspective serves as a reminder that behind every tragedy lies a complex web of human emotion, professional dedication, and the harsh truths of medical science. In a world where information spreads like wildfire, the fascination with conspiracy theories continues to captivate the audience. Yet, it's essential to ground ourselves in the reality of what happened that night. The combination of human error, tragic fate, and the unpredictability of life intertwined in a way that left many unanswered questions and deep scars on the hearts of those who loved Princess Diana. As we delve deeper into the facts, let us remember the real-life implications of her story. The The legacy of Princess Diana continues to inspire countless individuals, reminding us of the importance of compassion, understanding, and the quest for truth. Join us at TV Stars as we unravel the threads of this complex narrative and honor the memory of a remarkable woman.